Hey everybody, meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you, and on our Monday we do have some conditions that are a little on the wild side right now as we head into the next 24 hours. We have winter weather advisories posted. We're going to go over all of that. Roller coaster temperatures that'll be rising overnight, bringing ice and snow to the equation as we have some weather wiggles to worry about. I'll have the details on that. Hey, make sure you bring your questions as well as we take a look at the area live right now. Look at hutchesweather.com and you can see we have a little weather wiggle getting started as we speak. Areas of snow mixing with some mixed precipitation into the overnight that could bring some ice, and gusty winds upwards of 40 and even 50 miles per hour could cause some whiteout conditions, maybe brief blizzard conditions for some on that morning commute as you go through. So let's get started with a look at that hour by hour forecast right now. And a bonus for you, stay around till the end, because whether you're watching live or you watch the replay, we're going to talk about a peek into March with a look at that coming up here as well. First, let's start with a look at what's going on the hour by hour forecast. And to do that, we're going to take you right over here. Now, what we got going on right now is a little bit of a cold front making its way through, but we're on the warm side of this system as we go through. So our wind, and after a brutal start to temperatures this morning, we're on our way up with those south winds. And again, if you have questions, drop them in the comments and I'll try to get to those. Now, as we set this into motion for you, here we go. South winds increase as we go through the overnight hours. That means rising temperatures, folks. So even though our temperatures are where they're at right now, we're going to get even warmer and warmer during the overnight hours. And that's why it's showing rain in Winnipeg and rain out here in Regina as we go through the overnight hours. Here's where it goes. So this is 7 p.m. And then as we go through, look at this, mixed precipitation all the way north into Winkler, into Brandon, Manitoba, Estevan, and rain showers along the I-94 corridor because temperatures overnight will be in the 30s to near 40 degrees even as we go through. Now, southerly winds as we start out the morning conditions out here in parts of the Southern Valley, as well as west central Minnesota. We're going to see, I'm going to back this up just a couple of frames. That lurched through pretty quickly. As we go through the overnight, a brief period of showers that won't freeze on roads because temperatures for many of us will be rising to above freezing. But because the ground, the roads, the sidewalks are cold, if we get any of this rainfall making its way through, a light coat or glaze of ice will be possible. Notice most of the snow looks to stay to the north as we go through the overnight hours. But then as we head towards daybreak and into the morning, it starts sweeping down through northern Minnesota. So anyone that does get this for drive time, areas of snow will be being laid down. And as that happens, we're going to have a chance for some of that snow to really start blowing around, but not until it shifts direction. Still a southerly component to the wind and a westerly component to the wind across Minnesota, the Highway 2 corridor. So most of the snowfall appears to be along and north of Highway 2, and that could be anywhere here along the Highway 5 corridor, Highway 11 into northwest Minnesota as we go through our Tuesday morning. Now, as we continue through the day, by midday, this thing rocks into the North Shore, and once again, extremely heavy snow with these southerly winds really bringing the southern and western facing slopes a chance for some, well, pretty good snowfall potential with the system. Our winds here will get gusty. Like I said, 20 to 40 miles per hour. A few gusts up to 50 will be possible for some as we go through the day. Notice that this mixed precipitation as we go into the mid-morning hours moves down towards Rochester, the Twin Cities, and I hear you, Glencoe, a chance for some mixed precipitation for Mankato, as well as Wilmer, as well as St. Cloud. So travel between the cities and the FM area could bring a little bit of slippery conditions to the region. Now, looking out into Montana here, the next system works its way into the region as well. Let's talk about that as we zoom out and put this into motion. Temperatures will be falling as we go through the afternoon and evening hours, and the cold air moves right over the Red River Valley. This is the cold high pressure system. Here's the cold front knifing through, you can see, and it sets up a boundary here in South Dakota and Montana, and along that stationary boundary that ain't moving very far, that's going to bring a chance of Wednesday precipitation to South Dakota and our South Dakota border counties. Another round of mix to, well, just flat out flakes of snow flying. I think that Fargo misses both events, by the way, as we go through. So that's a look at the details with regards to that. Now let's talk a little bit about that snow and ice forecast. for the next 24 hours. So here's a snapshot of the morning time frame. A mixed bag of precipitation along the Highway 2 corridor, some snow showers north, but it will quickly be switching over to snow as those winds change. So when the winds change, we'll get blowing snow and drifting snow up north with the cold temperatures. And since we've been so cold, our roads are really frozen down here in the Fargo area, Valley City area, and northern Stutzman County areas. So any rain that does fall will give us some problems. So here's where the best chance at a light glaze will be: northern Stutzman, Barnes County, Cass Clay County. It's all the way into Ottertail and Becker counties here. Light accumulations are expected. Isolated locations could pick up a couple hundredths of an inch to 5/100ths of an inch of snow, ice as we go into the morning hours. This does sneak in very close to the Twin Cities, so keep that in mind. And this is by the time we get to the mid-morning hours. You saw that rain moving into the Twin Cities. Snowfall potential, mainly to the north. The green line here, anywhere south of it, we're expecting a trace to maybe a half inch of snow in and around Fargo. Get up north, though, along that Highway 2 corridor, Highway 5 corridor in North Dakota, and we'll quickly start to see those amounts increase. 2 to 5 inches expected there with gusty winds. So from the Botno area, the Walhalla area, Langdon, and you folks in Cavalier, you have a chance at seeing some of those, pretty wild and white conditions, and windy ones as well. This snow ramps up. Look at this, northern Beltrami County, 2 to 5 inches of snow for you, but see that pink line there? 4 to 6 plus inches, and some on the North Shore, once again, subject to 1 foot of snow working its way into that area. So if you happen to be in Bemidji, you're going to be right on this line or the boundary between the light snow and the heavier snow, and that line increases quickly as you get up towards Black Duck and on up to the northeast into Koochiching County, the Rainy River, as well as you folks in Baudette, Lake of the Woods, and Roseau counties having a chance at some more fairly significant snow as we go through. So that's a look at what's going on there. Now let's see. Hey, make sure that you hit the like button if you like the videos here. I really do appreciate that. And drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from and a question. We'll get to those in just a second. And again, we're going to go over that bonus peek at what's coming for March, or at least what the models are starting to hint at as we go through. Now let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. And one thing you're going to notice, temperatures overnight tonight will be rising to near 30 degrees in the FM area and then falling throughout the day. So your high tomorrow, if you want to worry about high and low temperatures, will be happening as we go beyond the midnight hour towards daybreak. And then after that, those winds, once they become northwesterly, will slowly and then quickly start falling down to 15 degrees by the drive time home. Not a lot of precipitation in the area. Kim, thanks for the stars. I sure appreciate Carla, you watching, as well as Logan in the Fargo area. So thank you very, very much. So as we go through Wednesday, we drop all the way to 0. Up north, we'll have sub-zero readings in the morning. It's going to be a cold hump day to start as we go into your Wednesday. North Dakota, South Dakota border counties could see a few flakes in the forecast. And then look at the big, whiplash weather. Ouch. 36 degrees, I'll take it, but it'll be a little breezy with some gusts up to 45 miles per hour from the south, keeping us on the mild side. By Friday night, it becomes the wild side. It doesn't look like a big-time storm system focused on our area, but another dash of flaky precipitation as an Arctic air mass settles back in again. That's why Hutch has the purple days out of his pockets. As we close out the month of February with a high of 7, we go into the month of March at 9. And some of you commented, Hutch, that's kind of like a lion, isn't it? 8 below? Well, it could be, but I think we've been exposed to worse. So no major storm systems on March 1st as we go through. So a chilly day, well below average. I'm not going to call it a lion. I might call it coming in like an angry llama. That's about the best I got. 37 degrees as the whiplash weather continues under the 2nd of March out there, as well as some south winds to bring that warmth back. Now, got to tell you about a special event real quick here going into your Wednesday and Thursday, the 25th and the 26th of February here. We have a big 2-day event going on at Gate City Bank, and you can find out a location near you by visiting gatecity.bank/offer. Big offer coming up here. Now, on Wednesday from noon to 2, I will be at the Village West location. Stop by, say hi, and take full advantage on a cool day of a hot banking offer. So you can find out more details again, gatecity.bank/offer as we go on this wild roller coaster ride together. Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining. It says Devil's Lake, always watching. Thank you very, very much for what you do. And I thank you for watching. I couldn't nor wouldn't be able to do it without any of you as well. So let's talk a little bit about our current conditions, and we're going to take a look out at the East Coast as well. Pulling up the latest radar, and this is unbelievable as we look at what's going on across our nation today. Big time storm system along the mid-Atlantic states, and we'll talk a little bit more about our forecast too as we go through. In fact, let's do that as we go through. So again, we talked about the snowfall, we talked about that, our temperatures all over the place. Now, the Weather Service has issued winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for our area and region. So let's get to that right now. So here's what you need to know. As we're taking a look at these areas, notice this. The Red River Valley, the northern Red River Valley, and northeast North Dakota, northwest Minnesota, that blue, that's a winter weather advisory. We also have a big area of nothing, and then another winter weather advisory out towards Hibbing and Virginia as snowfall will begin elevating out there. And look at this. Grand Marais, once again, the northern reaches of the North Shore are in a winter storm warning. Are you kidding me? That's why I was showing you 6 inches plus of snow. So we're talking about Schrader. We're talking about Tofty and the Lutsen area for the mountains. Grand Marais all the way up to the border crossing up there as we check in on Grand Portage up there. Winter storm warnings, big time snowfall and wind will be expected with that. In fact, the National Weather Service out of Duluth says snow 5 to 9 inches, visibility a quarter of a mile, and definitely some gusty winds with heavy snow as we go through midnight tonight through 3 p.m. into your day on Tuesday. For tomorrow. Get down near Silver Bay and head towards Duluth and the Two Harbors area, and the snowfall amount's a little bit lower, and that's why it's a winter weather advisory as opposed to a warning. 2 to 5 inches of snow expected there. Now, as we look in on the Hibbing area as far as snowfall potential, that's going to be very similar in that 2 to 5 area zone, and that's what Hutch had on the forecast out there, 2 to 5 inches of snow with some gusty winds. For the Grand Forks area, notice Fargo, Moorhead, not in the winter weather advisory. Thief River Falls, Red Lake Falls. If you happen to be anywhere in Polk County, Monoman County, the Highway 200 corridors for Griggs, Steele, and Trail counties, as well as Benson and Morris counties, and up, of course, Valhalla, and all the way out towards Rock Lake and Candu. We're in this winter weather advisory. The winter weather advisory, as issued by the National Weather Service in Fargo, says we could get some light icing and we could get up to an inch or so of snow. Because of that and the gusty winds, we could have brief areas that get some reduced visibilities. We got a lot of fluff on the ground out there. That powder, I mean, if you burp or drive by it too fast, causes a poof. So because of all of that nonsense that's on the ground, we could have blowing snow, reducing visibility, and creating areas of zero visibility and near blizzard conditions possible in some of these areas. Now, the farther north you go, it's my opinion that the better chance of some of that accumulating snow will be, and we're already seeing a little bit of that showing up in the Badette area. So this is a good reminder for me to let you know about hutchesweather.com, and on hutchesweather.com, if you head up to the top line up here, you're going to find download the app. I've got a brand new app, and there's not any other one like it in the area. Please download it to your phone and drop in the comments what you think of it. Do you have the app? You may have noticed that I sent you a notification just now of the weather that's going on. And not only does the app allow you to interact with all of us when the weather is hitting, you can share with us what's going on with regards to how much snow after the weather hits, right from your mobile device. So I have a few of you that have already done that, and I wanted to say a big, huge thank you out to those of you who have. Now, over the weekend, we had some wild weather taking place out there. Out on Lake of the Woods, and this is a view of them getting that ice road all cleared out. Thank you so very much, Sean, for checking this out. Whoa, my goodness, look at that ice road up. So you're driving on ice. It's like that old show, Ice Road Truckers, and if you look closely, here comes the plow as they're keeping things open up there. The ice fishing is good, and Sean shared a photo of him getting all of that fish that they caught out there on the weekend. There it comes. There we go. So keeping the ice road open, and it's going to become a little more difficult as we go through the next 12 to 24 hours. Here's sunset on Lake of the Woods, also shared by Sean. Thank you so very much. And this weekend's weather was a little on the wild side as we had a little bit of everything. Check out West Fargo under the beautiful blue skies. Tiffany, thanks for this. And then if you waited a little while, Oh, this is those sun dogs are barking out there like an angry Rottweiler. And even a little bit of evidence there of the halo, and certainly that spike from the sun called a light pillar as well. So beautiful conditions out there. Thank you so much. This one shared by yours truly of the light pillars in Moorhead on a very cold and brutal Sunday night. So it's a great place to share what you're seeing in your neighborhood with regards to the weather. Now back to a look at what's going on across our area. Let's take a look at temperatures, and then we'll get to that bonus coverage that I talked about and that peak into the month of March. Look at the temperatures in Glendive. Look at what's going on as you go up here near Regina. We have temperatures that are falling in Calgary to 14 degrees, but Lethbridge all the way out into, let's see what we got here. Oh, Medicine Hat. So Medicine Hat says, hey, we'll take that medicine. 46 degrees. Are you kidding me? You're in the downsloping part of the winds off the Rockies, and you are getting some nice Chinook winds, whereas it hasn't quite reached those locations up to your north. Saskatoon up there at 7 degrees. It's 12 in Grand Forks, 18 in Fargo-Moorhead, 16 in War Road. Right now, Bemidji, you have 18 degrees, and the Twin Cities are not much warmer at 21. But you go down to Pierre, you can see this boundary between the warm and the cold. Are you kidding me? Lemon, South Dakota, Hettinger, 52 degrees, and you're growing bananas out there, and that's not a bad thing to have. So that's what we got with regards to our current conditions right now, and those morning temperatures, even though right now in Fargo we're at 18 degrees, were mighty ridiculous. So checking out the morning lows today, how low did we go? That's right. Remember Hutch was saying near minus 20 in and around the Devil's Lake Basin with all your fresh snow? That's right. 14 to 17 inches will do that. 20 degrees below zero for you folks in Ramsey County, Benson County, and all the way out towards Grand Forks, where your temperature this morning was 14 below, Amaretto 15 below. Looking at morning temperatures, how about 14 in Mavie below? That's mighty chilly as well. Some tooth chipping cold weather in Roseau at minus 12, and it was a little bit more bearable down here, minus 10 to 12 degrees in Otter Tail County, not far from Perham. Fargo-Moorhead, 11 degrees below zero. And if you go out to Valley City and Jamestown, 5 to 10 degrees below zero near Ashtabula. And as you look off to the west, where things are really warming up now, and we have 52 degrees in the Hettinger area, look at that. It was 6 this morning. That's a big time warm up. 46 degrees in a 24-hour period is ridiculous amounts of warming weather. And in fact, to look at the highs today, there you see the 51 burger, 54 degrees as you get out a little bit closer to Rame. How about 56 out there as well? Getting up into the Williston area, 38 degrees. So look at this. There's your freezing line. Everybody to the right, we're on the colder side of the situation here. And where we have the deep snow, many areas still in the single digits. So road temperatures, sidewalks, your deck, all of those areas are frozen. And when those rain showers start up tonight, as this warm air gets pushed over the top of the cold pool, it's going to bring out some mighty slippery conditions. So now we'll take a look at the bonus coverage stuff that I promised, and let's go take a look at the climate forecast system forecast for the next few days. This is very cool to look at, and it gives us an idea of the temperatures that we could be experiencing as we go through. Now, what we're looking for temperatures are these red lines here. Okay, so this is a nice warm dome of high pressure that reaches all the way up into Montana. You see the edge of the red line there? Okay, and when we get a low pressure system like this, it causes a swirl of wind, and we get north winds on the backside. These blue lines are the cold air. So we can kind of track where there's big pools of cold air and warmer air across the nation. As we put this into motion, one thing you're going to notice here as we go through, well, I got to tell you what, we have what's going to be a change in the pattern. Now check this out. Right now we have our little weather wiggle working its way through that's going to blast the North Shore with more snow. This thing picks up into a little bit more, no, a lot more moisture as it works its way through the Great Lakes region, and that low pressure system is going to deliver another punch of snow to already defeated mid-Atlantic states out there from New York all the way up to Boston. It looks like a Wednesday morning arrival time or ETA for them. For us, very cold high pressure will be on the backside. North winds will still be gusty in Wisconsin as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, so you see this snow or storm track kind of tracking along that band of snow that's on the ground from our last system. Now, low pressure develops in West Texas. Start to see these warm lines rising northward, and that means a chance at some warmer weather making its way in as we get to late week. And this storm track going through the southern prairie provinces of Canada will burp out some north winds and push cold air back into our region for the weekend ahead as we close out the month of February and head into the first of the month. Not necessarily stormy, but a little on the cold side to start our month as we go into the first of the month. big time stormy weather moving through the southern plains rather, as we go into the first day of the month. Now, how far out do we go? I don't see any bullseyes. Notice this pattern across Canada here, from basically Saskatoon and Calgary all the way across the central provincial counties rather. We are going to see the track of snow down there. Now, down to the far south, well, we have a little bit of shower activity, and then here comes, as we head into the 8th of the month, a big, well, it's a west coast system that moves through the Rockies and exits not through Colorado, but farther north, Montana and Wyoming. If this does hold true, we could have some very stormy weather in our northern counties, and look at that, wraparound snow possible as we head into the 9th. So the first full week of the month of March looks a little cooler with burps of cold air, chances to be warmer at times, so the roller coaster continues, but no bullseyes until we get to about the 9th of the month. Now, as we continue on in the forecast period, I got to get back to the 9th. Here we go. That storm system exits, cold high pressure behind it, as you could imagine. Here come the red lines with south winds ahead of the next system. Look at this one. This one's exiting out of Colorado. So the big change as we go from the beginning of the month, where the storm track is through Canada primarily, to the middle of the month, around the 12th, the 10th through the 12th, and even into the 13th, we start to see some more Rocky Mountain lows or Colorado-style lows exit through. This one brings big-time warm and rain to the region as we head into the 13th, and then another round of potentially heavy snow. So the two systems that cross around the 10th to the 15th of the month, if they do indeed turn out anywhere like this, will bring a chance at a more stormy pattern through our area. How far do we go through the month on the climate forecast system? It goes out about a month, and it's not very good to lean on any one specific system because this is going to change with every run of the model. But over time, we can start to see a little bit of a pattern taking hold. Now, we get a nice break, and toward the end of the month, look where the storm track returns, up into the Canadian provincial areas. Here's another Wyoming low setting up and moving through the region. So unsettled with periods of snow, cold and warm. What else is new for the month of March? All right, let me go ahead and see about your questions out here. I did say we would look at the United States and what's going on there. So we'll pull that up too, so you can see the big time snow that's taking place. Boston all the way up to the state of Maine right now. That system is rocking and wreaking havoc across the northern part of the Atlantic coast as we head into the evening hours on this Monday night. So it's 4:47 Central Time here. That means it's 5:37 Eastern Time. Winter storm warnings from Boston. Also look at this in the elevated terrain of Appalachia here in West Virginia and southern and western parts of Pennsylvania, south of Pittsburgh. We have winter storm warnings there as well. Now, when we get into Boston, we still have bands of heavy snow right off the Cape. And look at this. That extends all the way down through Providence, Rhode Island. That's starting to quiet down a bit in Hartford and out in New York now. The blue colors you see there, a little bit of snow continuing, as well as cold weather advisories that are in place here in these areas. So the cold weather will be diving in Bangor. And now look, where we have the blinking counties here, those are blizzard warnings that are in effect for Ellsworth as well as St. Andrews area out there on the island. So all in all, we do have some very, very stormy weather continuing to punch the northern part of the Atlantic coast out there. Warm water in the Gulf Stream here, providing moist air that gets lobbed back inland and creates, well, very heavy bands of snow. How much snow are we talking about? Yeah, if you've seen the reports today, they are lofty indeed. Let me take you to a look at the snowfall reports. So bear with me while I pull those up. So this is a tool you have on Hutch's Weather app. If you download it, you can hit the snowfall reports button, and it's not just local, it's national. So zoom your map out and you can also take a look at some of these snowfall reports. Now, oopsies, I'm feeling moving here. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at these snowfall reports here in the New England states and look in what's going on here in the last 24 hours, even the UP of Michigan up here with some lofty totals, 13.5 inches here as we look into northern parts of Wisconsin near the UP of Michigan, and the big winner, 32 inches, Mount Arvon, Michigan, 32 inches of snow. Oh my goodness, that's 72 hours worth, 240 inches so far this season. That's quite a bit of snow, 240 inches. The record in Fargo, 117 inches of snow for your perspective. Now look at the East Coast out here. If you get into Appalachia out here, we see a number of these orange and yellow dots. Those would indicate snowfall amounts that would be over a foot. So anywhere you see the orange colors, that's a foot or more. 15 inches reported here. As we look into Gawley, West Virginia, that Gawley is right. Now as we look out and into the New York area, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the snowfall totals and reports out here. My goodness, look at this. So if you get out to Long Island, this is just unbelievable. Where do you put the snow when you're on an island and you get the water coming in from those winds? 26 inches reported here, 24 inches, 30 inches in Patugua, North. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that one. My apologies out there. And Islip, East Islip, seeing 30 inches of snow. The big winner, 31. Central Islip out there. Now, as we go inland just a little bit and get in towards New York, the boroughs and New York City area seeing anywhere from 18 to what looks like 30 inches of snow in the inland areas as well. And then as we go up north, there are still reports coming in, but here we go off to the Cape. We got 5.5 inches at Chatham, Massachusetts, and you get inland just a little bit here towards Boston, New Bradford. This is Dighton, 27 inches as we work our way through. So basically anywhere from 2 to 3 feet of snow over a huge area, impacting millions of folks. Another thing that you can plot on Hutch's Weather app and hutchesweather.com are those power outages. So make sure that you check those out and you can get the latest. Now your questions. Let's go ahead while we leave this on the back. Brad, thank you very much. Calving season and full season across North Dakota and Minnesota. What specific indicators are you seeing and models of wind chill and thermal stress? So there are some certainty. I did talk to a few ranchers here recently, and many of them time things out for late March. So we just looked at the March forecast, and the early March forecast is for pretty cold dashes of air making its way through. So if you have any calves coming out or any kind of basically livestock making its way onto your farm, then there's going to be some very, very cold conditions, which by its nature is full of stress for the calving season. So hopefully your calving, your foals, if you're raising horses, will come a little bit later. Certainly the cold air is stressful, so an inside barn or something, or at least some protection from those gusty north winds to 50 miles per hour as we go through the next 24 hours in North Dakota. That's a great question, Brad. Now, as we go into the month of March with those heavier snow systems that look to be making their way through between the 10th and say about the 15th of the month of March, if any of those hit us, those could be even more impactful to those livestock ranchers out there with very gusty north winds and snow. It's too far out to really get specific on whether or not those are going to make an impact right here in the Red River Valley, but it is likely that we'll see a pattern shift from storms rolling through the prairie provinces in Canada to where they are now. I see the hearts and the likes coming. Thank you all so very, very much. If you do like the content here, it does help these get out to more folks if you give it a thumbs up and drop your question in as well. So thank you much. And if you're watching on my YouTube channel, slam the subscribe button, hit the little dingle bell up there, the notification bell to be notified, or just get Hutch's Weather app. Download it today. I send out notifications when I'm here talking to you. Islip is pronounced Islip. Thank you very much, Eric. I am not an East Coast person and have not been out there, so I certainly could be a slipping up on the Islip. Thank you very much. And I can tell you what, a lot of people will be saying, I slipped, because that's the kind of weather they have going on. Gary says, good afternoon, heading to Sioux Falls tomorrow and then up to your neighborhood on Wednesday morning. So definitely some wintry weather, but we will be on the lower impact side of it in Fargo. There could be a little bit of iciness to the roads, which I'm sure you're used to driving on. Thank you so much to all of my Facebook friends out here. Nathan watching, Logan, thank you. Carla for watching from Carlstead. Kim, thank you so very much for your stars. Steven saying Devil's Lake, always watching. Thank you very much. Marlis says, watching from Carrington. All right, that's wonderful to have you on board as well. Lancaster, Minnesota. Paul, thank you for sharing stars with Hutch's Weather as well. Linda, howdy, and Lynn saying hi as well. So no specific questions. I'm glad we didn't get 3 feet of snow, that is a good thing. So our snowfall does look like we'll see some in northern parts of Minnesota. We'll go ahead and just do a quick review of the snowfall and ice forecast. Overnight tonight, between about 6 p.m. tonight and overnight, we could have a light glaze of rain across the northern valley, and that rain will freeze on road surfaces that are in the single digits right now. As we go through the mid-morning hours, that rain moves through parts of central Minnesota and out toward the Twin Cities, so there could be some icy roads through central Minnesota. That's why I've circled such a big area here where we could have impacts with some iciness, and then the best chance for accumulating snow far, far north. So where you see the green line is where we have a decent chance at somewhere between 2 to 5 inches of snow, particularly northern Minnesota. And if you get into the North Shore, check it out. Oh my goodness, another dash of 4 to 6 plus inches. Some of you on the far northern reaches of the North Shore, saying north of 2 inlets, you got that good chance at seeing some of you getting upwards of another foot of snow. Now, there's going to be enough wind with this system with gusts to 40 and 50 miles per hour that the snow we get for your Tuesday morning and into Tuesday afternoon is going to blow around, and we already have all that snow from the last system there to blow around, as you saw by Sean's video up there on Lake of the Woods. So thank you all so very much. And Heidi says, I get notifications from the app, but never sure what the notification is for. Am I missing something? Thanks for bringing that up. You should get a text notification on your phone. So let me see if I have mine handy here. I sure should. And I'll show you what my notification says. I'll load it up and pull it up on the screen. All right, let's see. We got this loaded. Bear with me while I pull this up. I want to answer these questions as they come up because I don't want you feeling confused about what the app has or has to offer. So this is loading up right now, so give it 1 second. Okay, here we go. Now I got to pull it up on the screen so you can see with me. Here we go. All right, so a couple things to keep in mind. When you open the app up, right now on my phone, I sent out a notification that I was going live at 4:30, I believe. So if I go down and I take a look at my notifications by swiping down on my phone, see here, oh, I've got a few notifications here. Let's see. Right here, if I click on these and extend it, now I don't know if your phone works the same way. It says here, live at 4:30, weather wiggle time. Okay, so that's the kind of notification you should get, Heidi. Let me know if you're using a Android device or if it's an Apple product. No matter what it is, you should get some text or some context to the type of notification. Now, the app itself will send its own notifications to you. So you should have received this one because I sent it out to everybody who's downloaded the app. And on the app notification, I had to extend it so I could see, because the app told me that there's a temperature of 16 and I had that notification. That's not the one I just sent out. This is the one. So I hope that helps, Heidi. And thank you so very, very much for all of your gorgeous photos that you upload of the northern lights from your area. And I will see, I do believe we got one here recently. Look at this shot out here as you look into beautiful Bemidji. Check it out. Heidi does this. She goes out there, she braves the cold to bring us views of the northern lights that are like this. Absolutely stunning. Thank you so very, very much. Only 25 days till spring, but you know what? With a view like that, wow, look at the forest and the trees out there. Absolutely stunning. I hope that helped out, Heidi, and thank you for everything you do and for uploading your pictures, sharing your details. And by the way, if you happen to be excited about Northern Lights viewing, they've been hot, hot, hot the last several nights. And again, I'm getting notifications of high level of possibility for Northern Lights. But we have clouds and a weather wiggle wobbling through that will limit our chances of seeing all of that. So again, I hope that helps with the app. Thank you much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Make sure that you drop a comment with your question. I'm going to Duluth, says Linda, on Thursday. Is everything going to be okay? I'm not sure, Linda, where you're driving from. So if you'd let me know that, I could more specifically answer that. Duluth will not get the heavy snow from this, but there will be some wind, and they're in that 2 to 5 area. There's a winter weather advisory today into Tuesday night and into Wednesday. There still could be some impacts. After that, I think pretty good. Linda says going from Baudette. Now, Baudette, you could have a little bit more to worry about, because between Baudette and your destination in Duluth, I'll pull up my forecast map here, you can see the snowfall potential in the area here, showing that from Baudette, 2 to 5 inches along the majority of the path there. Now, by Thursday, we will have had a few days to clear the roads. Our DOT crews do a fantastic job. head over to my app right here. We're going to go back to the app. Oopsies, I'm just moving all kinds of stuff around here. My apologies. Okay, on the app, it's a great place to get your road report information, and it's sponsored by my friends at OK Tires. So when you go over to my website or the app, either one, let's go to the app. So if you open up the app here, it's going to take you to the app. And boom, it opens up thanks to my friends at Luther Family Ford and at OK Tire for making this possible. Here's the road report. This is really important because not everybody has the same threshold to what they like to drive in. I think it'll be critical for you, Linda, to go ahead and take a look at this. You push on this road report button right there. That's all you got to do is click on it, okay? Or you can go to the menu here and pull down, and you'll see one of the menu items is the road report. You go there. All states, all provinces are covered in our entire region. So you click on Minnesota, you're going to get the latest road conditions. Now, this will tell you in color format here whether or not you've got good travel conditions. And by good, this green doesn't necessarily mean it's great. It does mean it's seasonal for this time of the year. So keep that in mind. So as I zoom in, I'm going to lower this down so we can see more of the map. You can scroll right into your area. It tells me to use 2 fingers. So there's Baudette. There's DOT road cameras all the way along your route. So you can pick which route might be better for your most direct access as well as the best conditions for you to travel on. So I'll look at this Baudette one on Minnesota 72 and I can actually see the road. This tells me there's 1, 2, 3 views on the camera, so I can click on the circle here. I'll click on that center circle and go to the next view. That's what the road looks like at present time. It's a great tool, and it's a great way to make solid decisions on what you're comfortable with driving-wise. Thank you for your question, Linda. I sure appreciate it. I missed what Thursday looks like Belcourt to International Falls. Just talking about Thursday now, there'll be some snow that goes up into the Koochiching County area for International Falls through Baudette and Lake of the Woods County. So basically that northern trip up there, Highway 11 through the area out towards Rainy Lake, does look like a chance to see some inclement weather. Behind the system, the wind does die down by the time we get to the morning hours on Wednesday. And the fact that the wind dies down is a little bit pretty nice, but it picks up from the south again on Thursday. So what that means is I think we'll have some blowing snow over the road surfaces and a little on the icy side, but no more bullseyes after we get through the Tuesday weather wiggle we've been talking about. Thanks, Gary, for your question. Linda, thank you so very much. I hope you have the app and I hope you can make good use of it. Give it a try. Let me know. I love hearing your reports on what you're seeing on the app. It helps me make it more better. Gooder, better for all of us. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good evening. I'll keep you updated as this storm system in the morning and real-time updates to Hutch's weather. Thanks again.
The Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to YouTube channel. You're right.